Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Single Mother by Choice. My name is Jackie. This month I'm participating in a challenge known as No Spend November. For more information on that, make sure that you check out my last video. Today though, I'm going to share with you the small ways that you can save every single day, because as we all know, a little bit goes a long way, right? All right, so cheesy, sorry. So before we get into the video though, make sure that you subscribe for more weekly content from me. Let's get into it. So the first rule of saving is to create a budget. You need to see what you're working with first. There's no way that you can save money if you don't know how much is coming in and how much is going out, right? So in my case, I have created a budget. I actually every year create a budget, an annual budget. So I literally sit down and think about all of my expenses usually it's from June of one year to the following June. So I have done that, but I've not stuck to it. So that's the second part. First, you create a budget, and then you have to stick to that budget. So that's the first tip, people. Make a budget and stick to it. So this month, we'll see how I do with sticking to it. The next thing that really helps me to save every single day is buying reusable items. So in my past videos, you've seen me use a silicone baking mat, and that really helps in saving in terms of buying aluminum foil or buying parchment paper for when you're baking. That silicone mat is genius. You just put it on a baking sheet. When you're done, you rinse it off and then you use it again. It's the best thing I've ever had. And they come in different sizes, so you can buy the set. They come in 3 different sizes, and it will be definitely, over time, you're definitely saving money. I also like to use glass water bottles. Why glass? Well, I particularly really like glass bottles. I just feel as though it's the best way to keep my water from being contaminated. I've used metal bottles before, and I just find that sometimes they get, depending on the quality maybe, but for me, like I found if there's water that stays inside of the bottle for an extended period of time, it tends to develop a smell, and I can't. Like, that means to me that something's brewing in there, and I'm not interested in using those bottles. And of course, plastic, there are PBA-free plastic bottles, reusable water bottles, but I just, again, rather be safe than sorry. I prefer to use glass. And finally, I also use glass container sets for when I do bring my breakfast and my lunch to work. They can be a little bit heavier. I do commute using the train, and then I walk to work too, about 20 minutes. So it can be a bit heavy if I have a glass container for my breakfast and my lunch, plus I have a glass water bottle. I try to leave that bottle at work, but sometimes I like to bring it home just to run it through the washer. But so it can get a bit heavy, but I just look at it as a workout. So in the morning and the afternoon, when I'm walking back to the train station, I have my heavy bag on, and I consider that to be weights. It counts. It does. So next, so I've been better about this part since I've come home, but I used to order out a lot, and that really gets expensive. Even if you just do it a couple of times a week, it can add up. It can be $30 to $40, if not more. And for me, it was definitely more. I live in New York City, and my friends have, snooty taste in food. So it used to be, sometimes I'd spend $100, eating out, and that's insanity. That's insanity. $100 a week, that adds up to $400 a month. Insanity. So now that I'm living back home with my mom, I definitely cook more. So I definitely meal prep on Sundays. I get everything ready for the week so that I don't have to think about it. I bring my breakfast to work most days. Sometimes I am in a rush and I do forget. So planning is key. If you want to save money every day on food, you definitely have to plan and meal prep ahead of time, because for me anyway, it makes all the difference. And in a pinch, I rather spend money on food than go hungry all day. So planning for me is crucial in saving money every day on food. The next tip that I have is to pay for at least the smaller items in your life in cash. So if you're buying something like a new fridge, or you're buying obviously a new car, any big appliance, or just something that's large, then it's okay to use excuse me, a debit card or a credit card. But for smaller everyday items, I'm trying to pay with cash. So when I go grocery shopping, it's cash. When I put gas in my car, anything like that, I try to pay in cash. And again, that has to do with budgeting. So if you do not have a budget, none of these things can really happen and go through smoothly. So I definitely plan for the week. I try to think about, okay, how much cash will I need for gas? How much cash will I need for, grocery shopping this week? And then I remove that from the ATM, or I go to the bank teller, and it's really helpful. So, and it really makes you mindful of your spending habits. If you're paying with plastic, it doesn't feel real. You're not really consciously thinking about how that's impacting your banking account or your savings account. It's just plastic. But when you have to sit there and count out money, it makes you a little bit more conscious. And then also, if you give yourself a budget of how much you're spending every week, once that money is gone, it's gone. And I am trying to be disciplined enough not to go back to that bank. So but even if you have to go back to the bank, if an emergency happened or something, it makes you just more aware. So paying with cash is really very important when you're trying to save money. The next tip is huge, because I do like to shop. I like to shop a lot. I'm trying not to. I'm trying to go minimalist, because I do have limited closet space here. In my old apartment, I had 4 closets all to myself, and they were all full. So when I moved home, I definitely cleared out a lot of things. I'd say more than half, maybe almost 3/4 of the things that I had stuffed into those closets were gone. And something that really helped me was using this website known as ThredUp. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of this already. It's an online thrift store. So there you can actually send for a bag, and they'll send you this bag. You fill it up with clothes that are lightly used and clean. You ship it out to them, and they will pay you for those items. And for things that are really expensive, if you have like a designer bag that's worth hundreds of dollars that you want to have them sell, they'll put it on consignment, and once the item sells, you get a cut of those profits. So ThredUp is really great. It helps you clean out your closet, and it's a thrift store. They have great items that are designer to a little bit low end, but they're all in really good condition, and they're inexpensive. So if you feel like you must shop, that's a great place to go to. And I'm sure a lot of you have also heard of Ebates or couponcodes.com, I believe. I'll link all of this down in the description box, but those are other great ways if you feel like, okay, I need to buy something. Those are great places to go to save money. All right, so those are the 5 things that I'm doing every day to save money. If you have any more suggestions, I'd love to hear them down below in the comment section. I look forward to hearing from you. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share this video with everyone you know, and I'll see you next time. Bye.